everyone, myself Anuj Habra. Today again we are here to learn something new. As you all know, the rainy season is approaching, which is the right time to do the propagation. So propagation in a simpler way I can tell, to get your plants multiplied, we cut the stems, the matured stems of the plant, and then we sow it again in the soil so that the roots gets developed and it becomes an entire new plant. So this is basically a propagation, and the rainy season is the ideal time to do the propagation. Today we will be learning about the propagation of Bougainvillea plant, but the same method applies to your rose, your mogra, your many flower plant like Parijatha. So the basic method is same. First try with Bougainvillea plant. If you get success in that, then keep trying with other plants. Mostly all floral plants which have a thicker stem like this, this method can be followed. So let's start. Okay. Now this looks more like a cookery show where all the spices have been kept, but today we are not going to discuss any recipe of everything. Yeah, it's a recipe of making or doing propagation of stem of Bougainvillea. So for this recipe or this method, what all we need is, first I will tell you the things what I have collected. This is aloe vera stem, turmeric powder, your cinnamon powder, cinnamon sticks you get, dalchini we say in Hindi. So cinnamon sticks, I have powdered it, and this is the rooting hormone what you get ready in the market. This bottle I have kept, honey, this is water, this is your surgical spirit, any stem which is not less than a thickness of a pencil size, potting mix which is an equal quantity of your sand, red soil, compost and coco peat. Okay? And these are the two plants I have already done propagation few days back. So I will just take out the plant from the pot to show you the root formation. So it will be very much clear how the propagation process is done. And to last but not the least things, the pruning shears and your knife. Now the first thing, when we have to start propagating any plant, we need a healthy matured plant. From that plant we will take a stem which is not very delicate like this. You can see this is on a greener part. So this is little immatured, a young stem. So from here it is still, you can see it's a brownish part, this part, this part, this part, all this propagation is good one. This, the chances will be less for propagating because this is not matured enough. So first thing what we have to do is, as we have already had the surgical spirit with us, we have done this pruning shears have been, you have to wipe it with that to sterilize it properly, so that no infection should be there. So first thing what we have to do is, we have to remove the extra stems whatever is there. Okay, because we have to concentrate on the main part what we want to do the. Okay. Now suppose this one we have got. So minimum you make sure whenever the stem you want, minimum 5 to 6 inches the cutting should be there. So in this we can make 2 cuttings because it's almost more than 12 inches. Okay. I'll make few cuttings and then I'll explain, because in this also, see, till here we can have one cutting. Yeah, these are the tiny ones we cannot do. So let us remove this. Okay. So now we'll take the stem whichever. So from that stem, 3 good stems we have got. I'll still try with these ones later. So if chances are there, they will also make the roots. Otherwise these things, these 3 though definitely it will have the roots. Now first thing what we have to do is, we have to cut the stem in a diagonal 45-degree angle. Why? Because the surface area gets increased, so the chances will be more for it to absorb the water or the nutrition or the rooting area, more roots will develop. So, all the 3 stems I have cut it diagonally at the base, and make sure the stem cutting should not be less than 5 to 6 inches. Okay. Now, once we have done that, very lightly will rub the lower, very lightly, just we have to remove the upper bark, the brown area, so that it becomes easier for the roots to develop. Okay. This is done. This is jar of water, I will keep it in that. The same thing I will do with the other. Now, in this, very near to this one stem is there, we will cut it off that also. Now, again make sure I will remove this little. Okay. Just the upper layer has to be removed. Same way we will prepare the third stem also. Okay. So, this much is done. Now, as I have told you, there are different methods or different ingredients are there which are used for the as a rooting hormone, you can say. The first is the honey. It has an antibacterial property also, and it has a rooting hormone property also. So, you can just take out your thing, you can apply honey, and then you can insert it in the potting mix. Next is you can take out from the water, apply little cinnamon stick, and then insert it in the potting mix. Third one, again take it out from the water, apply little turmeric and put it inside the potting mix. Anything, either rooting hormone or cinnamon powder or turmeric powder or honey you can use. Or one more method is there, your aloe vera. You just slit an aloe vera, the gel you can see. So, the stem what you have cut, just make sure you rub this area nicely with the aloe vera. Okay. Now, make a nice hole with your finger or any thing what you have, just make a nice hole and then insert it. Make sure minimum 2 to 3 nodes. Now, here one node, second and third, this much part should go inside the soil. Okay. Minimum 2 to 3 node, and then gently press it. Okay. Now, the next stem, suppose we want to apply honey, you can take little honey, you can apply on this, and suppose this is the rooting hormone, you just touch your finger with the rooting hormone, you can apply that also over this, because this both of them they have antibacterial properties and rooting hormone properties. So, it will take care of the thing really nice. So, again one hole you put, insert your this and then cover it with the soil. Now, one more stem we have. So, let us have a different method in that. So, in this one more thing people do, they just dilute your cinnamon powder in water, and then they keep the stem in the water for a couple of hours and they directly put it inside the soil. But I prefer applying it directly, either cinnamon powder or turmeric powder, whatever you have available with you, you can apply, and then just make sure don't push it this. Some people what they do, after application they pressure it inside and they remove the soil with the help of the stick only. Don't do that. Make a nice space so that the stem can enter properly, and then press it gently. Okay. Now, this is the time when we have done everything. You must be wondering why I have kept this. I will be explaining you. So, this is just a small stick. Make sure the stick size should be little longer than your cutting what you have done. Now, I will just sprinkle little water nicely on this. Okay. Make sure whenever you do watering, keep it in such a place where you have to place your pot. Don't re-shifting your pot again and again, because the cutting which you have planted inside does not like too much of displacement. So once this is done, just take a plastic cover. In that you can see I have made 2 tiny holes, one here and one on this side. Can you see? Here and one here. Okay. So now once we have watered, our potting soil is ready, the rooting hormone has already been applied to the stem. Now cover your pot with the thing, and you can just put a clip or something here so that it does not move here and there. So as you have a stick here, so or you can just place this plastic below your pot. Now because the holes are there, proper aeration will be there, and because of this plastic it will be a you can say mini greenhouse effect will come. So the chances of your stem for creating a root or successful propagation will be more than 80 to 90%, because immediately it comes into a controlled temperature. Sometimes we have too much harsh sunny area, sometimes we have too much rain. So all that variations this tiny stem cannot bear. So it's better for initially 15 to 20 days it should be like this only. Now whenever you have to water it, that also does not need much, because whenever this kind of a greenhouse effect we give, so water droplets will come and that will only take care of the water requirement of the stem. You can see tiny droplets after 1 or 2 days. So if you don't see that, then very lightly you take out your plastic, just lift your pot little, take out your plastic, and then no need to shift your stem, it should not touch your stem, just take out, water it nicely and then cover it and keep it. So from the outside only, make sure the cover is white color only, the plastic, and from the outside only you will come to know whether the new shoots have come or not. Once you see the development of the new shoots, that is the right time you can remove the plastic, and you can keep this in bright indirect sunlight. Initially you have to keep it in a shady place, gradually little lighter where you get the sunlight, then brighter indirect sunlight, and after 1.5 to 2 months you will see. Now this is chrysanthemum, this also I had done with the stem cutting. Now you can see the roots have grown so much that they are coming out of the pot. Okay. Now suppose that this is the right time, I have to transplant it to a bigger pot. Every time I tell you how to take out the plant, you have to hold it reverse, tap it down and see. You can see how the root formation has happened. No need to pull all the roots, the soil from this. As it is, it has to go on a new pot. One more bigger I have done for hibiscus, that also I will show you. See, this also from the stem has been. Now closely look at this stem. This is the thickness of the stem, the pencil cutting thickness I had taken. Here I had done the cutting, you can see the cut. Okay. So after 1.5 to 2 months, now you can see here a tiny shoot, here a tiny shoot, here, all has developed, and the root structure you see. So now it has become a complete matured plant. So after this I can plant it to a bigger pot also. So make sure whenever, now this is the right stage, it can take any temperature, you can keep it anywhere till the nice shoots have developed, nice small green leaves you can see, you let it be in a place where it is indirect bright sunlight. So this is the right method of doing propagation for especially the floral plants which has hardy woody stem. So for delicate this kind of chrysanthemum also you can do, because this is also little on a hardy side only. Few different flower plants are there which needs different caring, so that I will be explaining you later. So this is the basic for maximum floral plants, we can do this kind of a propagation and it will be easier and the success rate is really high. So thank you for joining me. Keep watching. Enjoy my videos. Keep liking. Thank you very much.